And on that day, we relied on many storm chasers in our area in the field to help us track those storms.
And it's done with purpose. Putting physical eyes on a potential tornado helps our meteorologist here in the studio better communicate the threat to you. And with all things, practice makes perfect. I recently tagged along with two of our meteorologists on an Oklahoma tornado chase. And as you see here, what they use as continuing education for others has become a full-blown fascination.
We both usually come out here because we're trying to learn more about the science behind weather. I think as meteorologists and people who have a lot of passion about the weather, I think the best way to learn it or learn more about it is by being out in the field, actually seeing the processes happen in real time.
It's a great way to come out here and learn just about supercell dynamics because every storm is different. Everything comes together just a little bit differently.
And I think it makes you a better meteorologist, a better weather forecaster if you're able to get out here and see storms. And I'll tell you this, if you've never chased before, you chase for the first time, even if you don't see a tornado, you're hooked for life.
Where'd we lose Rugger to?
He's over there. He's just clearing the mind, you know, because once you get into a tornado, get close to it, you know, you get all these emotions, and because that can often get you into some pretty dangerous situations.
Exercise is very important in storm chasing. Gotta have a clear mind.
Omen or coincidence that our stopping point just happened to be where they filmed the movie Twisters?
Maybe that's omen. I don't know. If you feel it, chase it. And maybe we're kind of feeling it. That's why we stopped there. So
we typically stop in certain areas so that we can kind of reassess the situation. There's a lot of different people out here.
Yeah.
There's meteorologists. There's
meteorologists.
There's enthusiasts. There's people who are on tours that are like from other countries.
Right, yeah.
And there's people from all over the world that will go on tours and stuff like that. This cloud cover may actually have been a good thing.
Now we need a little bit of that sunshine when you start getting stuff to pop.
Just to the north of Fairview, there is an area of clearing that's going on right now as the warm front is lifting to the north.
Tornado warning.
On the storm?
Yeah.
There is a tornado on the ground. We need this storm to start turning east though, because if it keeps going almost due north, it's going to outrace the warm front, it's going to become elevated, and it will have zero tornado potential.
3 miles.
Okay. If you notice, if you look over here, that the contrast is not very good. That's because there's rain shielding it. So you can see that storm starting to kind of wobble to the right. How can you see anything with all the rain?
I can see the funnel. It's trying to do something again.
There could be 2 tornadoes on the ground.
There might be 2. We are getting closer. This is near Arnett, Oklahoma. But it'll be just up the right side here.
We probably need to stop some.
That is definitely the most dangerous part of chasing is the driving, the other drivers.
Everybody and their mother's out here chasing. And it's not just the meteorologists, it's not just the researchers, it's not just the enthusiasts, and the folks that live out here, they're probably out here right now chasing it. And look at this, it just keeps going. It goes on and on. Look at this, look up there, Doug.
Look at the line.
Look at that line of people up there. And you see how people are trying to stop and they're trying to go really fast?
You'd have thought we were on Highway 412 in Springdale.
Exactly.
So this fell out of that. The hill core is right over here, and this moved over here. Kind of fell out of the updraft, that tilted updraft. But now we're kind of watching this area for.
We were on the right storm. We did pretty much everything right leading up to the storm, right, with our forecast and everything. We knew what to do.
Yes.
We just didn't execute.
We second-guessed ourselves.
We second-guessed ourselves, and here's the deal. We talked about it on the way over here. You know, we've had experiences in the past where we've had very dangerous supercells that have impacted us in, you know, negative ways. We were a little bit too patient with the storm. We didn't expect it to weaken as much as it did.
Right.
We did get a 30-second view of it. If we're looking for a high today.
For a high, we did get a
low contrast view.
We did get a little view of a tornado.
Yes,
so.
but you know, the lesson today is that sometimes being too patient is bad.
Is that Josh Rugger?
Look at the winds whipping towards the circulation right now. You can see the wind.
So this is a bad tornado, folks.
You know, that's the thing about storm chasing as well. You know, maybe you lose one day, but then you've always got more storms in the future.
Tomorrow the storm's coming to us.
Yeah,
Storms are coming to Northwest Arkansas.
right here in Northwest Arkansas.
So we don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
We're located on I-49 southbound. We did see power flashes.
All right, so we've got a confirmed tornado. Any vision?
That was really well done.
It was,
that was really
pretty
well done.
intense and crowded, as you notice. We're on like county farm roads, and it's like dozens and dozens of chasers, hundreds of chasers.
And that was like 5 hours away, right? That was in
Western Oklahoma.
Right.
And that's when they're going to do it, when we're not being threatened here, obviously, because their work here, it takes a team effort. Real quick, I want to say Josh was really disappointed that we weren't within touching reach of a tornado, but his point well made. Like, today, maybe not so lucky. The next day, the very next day, he was in the thick of the Greenland tornado. And want to say that decision they made, it was either A, do we go left and let it come to us, or do we go right and go headstrong toward the tornado? But really, I love the fact we took safety first, because had we gone toward it and it turned a little bit to the right, it would have come right at us, and we would have been bottlenecked with all those other chasers. And that it's getting so crowded in Oklahoma, it's becoming a little bit more dangerous for those that may not be as experienced to be out there on the road.
All right, well, that was really well done. So I'm glad you guys were all safe after that.
It was, all right, thank you, ma'am.